Good morning and welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Friday, the 14th day of Cheshvan. Let's begin with Tzedakah. Doila Tzedakah, Shem Kareves, Sageula, Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. So this morning I went to Shul to daven, and the Chazan, the one who led the davening, at the very last Kaddish, we had to say Kaddish, he broke out emotionally, started crying. He couldn't finish his Kaddish. And it made everyone feel a little uncomfortable. Obviously, I don't know what went through his head. Was thinking maybe for the person that he misses, the person that he's saying Kaddish for. And the people came over to him, say good Shabbos. But later on, I studied the Tanya, and I realized that this also gave me a bit deeper understanding of what we are going to learn today in the Tanya. You see, when sometimes you get inspired with words, with a prayer, you read the words and you concentrate. But when he said the Kaddish and he broke down, it did something inside. It really touched me deeply. And there's certain things that you get inspired which is beyond words, something that affects you deeply inside. So the Alter Rebbe, here what we're learning in the letter 27, Alter Rebbe is explaining what it means, the effect of the Tzadik on the people after his passing, when physically you don't see him. So he says, while the person is in the Tzadik, when you consider Tzadik in the physical body, how does he affect the people? Through his words, through his thoughts. But then when the soul leaves the body, he's not limited in the physical body. His soul goes up to the higher places. And his essential emotions, which we spoke yesterday, his life is the life of love of Hashem, faith in Hashem, fear of Hashem. Those are things that reach very high levels. The neshama in general is divided into 3 levels, 5 parts. There's the nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. The 2 parts are beyond the body. And then there is the 3 levels that is connected with the body. The nefesh is the lowest one that's connected with the action. The ruach is the spirit that connected with the emotions. And the neshama is connected with the godly intellect. So after the passing, the nefesh remains with the body. The ruach goes to the lower Gan Eden. This is the level of the godly emotions. And the neshama goes even to the higher Gan Eden. So the emotions of the tzaddik is in the level of the ruach, and that goes up higher and higher. But yet, the kedusha, the holiness, never leaves its place. So even though the tzaddik the neshama goes to the higher places, it still remains here. And the effect that it has on the people is it's not just a reflection of his godly emotions like the words deliver or the thoughts can deliver, but it's a more deeper, essential connection. And how do we connect to the tzaddik? How do we get this inspiration? Says the Alter Rebbe, is through the love that we have for the tzaddik, through the studying of his Torah, and through working and preparing ourselves to be ready for that spiritual revelation. So let's see what the Alter Rebbe says in today's Tanya. That's in the middle of chapter 27. Continues the Alter Rebbe, Vine, V'yois HaTzadik chai al pnei ha'adama, o yishloisho midei seile b'tech kli levush shelehem, b'chinas mokim gashmi, sheb'chinas nefesh ha'kshura b'gufay. Now, while the Tzadik was alive on earth, these 3 attributes, which we mentioned, the faith and the love and the fear of Hashem, were contained in their vessel and garment on the plane of the physical space, this being the aspect of the nefesh which is bound to his body. And how do the Talmidim, how do the disciples receive from the Tzadik during his lifetime? They receive only a reflection of the Tzadik's emotions. During his lifetime, his disciples all receive only a reflection of these attributes, and a ray from them. That radiates beyond this vessel, meaning the Tzaddik's body, by means of his holy utterances, where he speaks, or in thoughts. These affect the people. Like we remember, we came to see the Rebbe, and the Rebbe would see people individually. We go by the Rebbe, and the Rebbe would give the dollars, the Rebbe would give the brachas, and we would listen to the Rebbe's sichas, the farbrengens, and you could see that these are the way we affected by the Tzaddik, is from seeing the Tzaddik doing things, from listening to his words, and so on. But getting the inspiration from the words is something that is very limited in the sense that we connect to what we understand. That is why our sages of blessed memory said that one cannot plumb the depth of his master's teachings until the passage of 40 years. It takes 40 years to come to a little understanding of what the teacher said, the depth of the teacher's message. But once the tzaddik is not limited in the physical body, says the Alter Rebbe, you have the soul that departs and goes to the higher levels. But after the tzaddik's passing, since the nefesh, which remains in the grave, is separated from the ruach, which comprises these three attributes, and after his passing is in the Garden of Eden, the Gan Eden, so whoever is close to him, close to the tzaddik, can receive a part of his ruach, which is in the Garden of Eden, meaning an actual part of the very essence of these attributes, as opposed to a mere reflection of them. Through the words, you can only get a mere reflection. But once the tzaddik is not limited in this physical body, the ruach goes to the higher levels, then it's much easier to gain closeness to the very essence of his emotions, emotive attributes. Because the ruach of the tzaddik is now not within a vessel, nor on the plane of the physical space, but in the Garden of Eden, which as will now be explained, is to be found within this world as well. And even though we say that the tzaddik, the neshama, goes to the Gan Eden, the Rebbe continues that really Gan Eden is not a physical space. It is something that is found also in this physical world. And he brings the example of the story with Yaakov Avinu and Yitzchak. When Yaakov Avinu goes into Yitzchak wearing the clothing of the skin of the goats, Yitzchak says, who couldn't see, he says he smells re'ach b'ni kereach hasadeh. Look, the smell, the aroma of my son is like the aroma of the field that God blessed. And our sages explain, what does it mean? He was wearing this fur of the goats, fresh fur of a goat, which does not have a very pleasant smell. And they explain that really what is the aroma that he's talking about? He's talking about the aroma of the Gan Eden. The Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, came with Yaakov Avinu, and that's what Yitzchak sensed. And what is the Garden of Eden? That every person, whatever you do, the good mitzvahs, the things that you do, it has an effect, and it accumulates, and it goes with you, all the good deeds, the effects of the good deeds. And the same thing is the other way around, bad deeds also. The bad deeds bring Gehinnom around you. Except the bad deeds, you have an option to do teshuvah, to repent and remove them. But the good deeds that you do is something that stays with you forever. Continues the Alter Rebbe, Kanoida me'mayim Razal, al Yaakov Avinu olav shalom shenichnas imei Gan Eden. For as is known, our sages of blessed memory said of our father Yaakov, peace be to him, that the Garden of Eden entered with him when he came to be blessed by his father Yitzchak. Likewise, it is stated in Asar Mamaras that the atmosphere of Gan Eden envelops every individual. And in this atmosphere are recorded all his good thoughts and utterances of Torah and divine worship. And the same thing the other way around also. And likewise, to the contrary, heaven forfend, negative thoughts and utterances are recorded in the atmosphere from Gehenna, which envelops every individual when he engages in them. So to summarize, after the Tzadik's passing, his power and his faith, his awe and his love are not limited by his bodily vessels and by the physical world in general, but are in the Garden of Eden, which is to be found in this world as well. And because this is found in this world as well, that is why we're able to tap into this influence of the Tzadik. Ilkoich nokel me'oid letalmidav lekabel chelko mebchinas ruach rabo ma'atzmis shem emunosa v'irosa v'avosa yashav ovad be'emes Hashem. It is therefore very easy, nokel me'oid, very easy, says the Alter Rebbe, for his disciples to receive their part of the essential aspect of their master's ruach, meaning his faith, his awe, and his love with which he served God. Imagine you tap into the actual love and fear that the tzaddik works, that the tzaddik serves Hashem. Obviously, we are so far to be in the level of a tzaddik, no one dares to even think about it. But you can tap into his level of work of serving Hashem. And not merely a glimmer thereof, which radiates beyond the vessel and which reached them through his thoughts and words when the tzaddik was still alive. But the essential aspect of his ruach, his essential faith, awe, and love that relate to himself and not to his disciples, is raised elevation beyond elevation. To become absorbed in his neshama, which is in the higher Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, in the supreme world. However, even though it goes up into the higher levels, Kedusha, holiness, does not move from its place. Once holiness was in this place, it remains there forever. Now it is known that no holy entity is ever totally and utterly uprooted from its original place and level, even after it has reached the highest point. It is this original aspect deriving from the Ruach of the Tzadik, remaining below in the lower Garden of Eden, in its original place and level. This is which extends itself among his disciples, and to each one according to his ability, to his connection to the Tzadik. This is why you're talking about you need a internal emotional connection to the tzaddik. Each one according to the level of his bond and closeness to the tzaddik during his lifetime and after his passing, out of an abounding love. For anything spiritual is elicited only by means of an abounding love. And when this degree of love is present, the three attributes of faith, fear, and love are then drawn down. Thus it is stated in the sacred Zohar that the spirit, the ruach, of the inner heart, desire, elicits a spirit from above. So too the disciple's heartfelt love for his master draws down these three attributes. This is in a Yom Yom. This is a two-way street, actually. In Yom Yom it says about how the Rebbes, they think of the Talmidim, of the disciples, and the love that they have to them. And it's a two-way street. And that brings the connection, the spiritual connection, and brings you an inspiration, an arousal of feeling to want to do good things, to want to connect to Hashem. However, but only if he will prepare himself towards God, with a great preparation and intense effort. It's not just like, hey, it's a casual thing. We have to work on it, prepare ourselves spiritually with great preparation, like you prepare before davening, to receive these levels, the tzaddik's inspiration from the tzaddik, so that he will receive these attributes in the way that his master taught him. To paraphrase the words of our sages, our sages of blessed memory said, if you have labored and claim to have found, believe it. In other words, when you labor, when you work something, when you work hard, you will succeed. Not just only you will succeed, but you will find. What does it mean you will find? Like you find something which is totally unexpected. You find you go in the beach and you find a diamond ring. Something you work. Sometimes you go. You sift through the sand and you find this treasure. So what you find is something beyond of what you worked. When you work in the preparation, what you need to do, then you will be able to find something way beyond your capabilities. That's the end of today's share. Mitzvah Hashem will see you after Shabbos. Have a wonderful day and a good Shabbos.